Going for about a mile walk because I had to park my truck and my boat trailer really far away because it's super packed Saturday at the boat ramp. So I figured this is a appropriate time to give a little heart failure update. It's not much of an update, but it is something to talk about. Let's see, today is Saturday, and just a couple days ago on Monday, I finally was able to submit genetic testing, which is great. I sat down in like an interview type arrangement, and they asked me so many questions about family history. Has anybody died of, sudden cardiac arrest? Blah, blah, blah. I was interviewed for over an hour just asking so many questions about my mom, my mom's mom, my mom's mom's mom, my mom's siblings, my mom's siblings' children, my mom's siblings' children's children, my dad's dad's dad. Like, you get what I'm saying. They went down the family tree so extensively that I genuinely was in there for over an hour just answering questions. And then they gave me a cheek swab, which was very interesting to me. I definitely thought that it would be more of like a blood draw type of test, but it was a cheek swab. They did the cheek swab and then sent it in. I'm still waiting on the results, so I assume that will be the next update. Let me think of what else. That was on Monday. On Tuesday, I went in to see a urologist because one of the other symptoms that I have is constant urination. I pee all the time. I pee at least once every hour, 24 hours, like through the night, through the day, all the time. But most of the time during the day, it's like 2 times per hour. Especially if I'm hydrated, it's 2 or 3 times per hour. And then through the night, it's, once per hour. So I went to see the urologist, and you have to take a test. And it says 1 through 5, how bad is this symptom? 1 through 5, how bad is this symptom? 1 through 5, this and that. And for people my age, the score was supposed to be like 8, and 30 would be like extreme. And my test ended at like 24. So when I handed it back to the urologist, he actually took a second and was in a little bit of disbelief. So he immediately prescribed me a prostate medication, but I elected to not take that. He kind of spooked me with some of the side effects, and so I just decided to not go that route. So with the urologist, he prescribed me that stuff. It was like Flomax. Didn't take it, but he gave me a journal to write for 48 hours at some point between now and the next time I see him. Just take 48 hours to really document every time I pee and how much I peed and how was the flow. Was it hard? Did you have to push? See, now we're getting to the scenic areas. A little more windy, but the payoff is there. But so I'll have to do a journal, and we'll see about that. The lady at the genetic testing is actually the one who referred me to the urologist, because when I was talking to her, answering some questions, she thought that was a huge red flag that has been overlooked by doctors over the past couple years, which I agree. At this point, it's just something that I live with. I don't really gripe or complain about it anymore, but it's a huge ailment. If anybody else was given this set of symptoms abruptly, it would really flip their life upside down. But I've just kind of grown to live with it, and found ways to manage and just keep on pushing. But because of all the urination, it definitely affects my sleep cycles, which plays back into heart failure. Because if I'm not getting full sleep cycles, then I'm just kind of mildly sleep deprived all the time. And I learned that the number one day that people have heart attacks is on a Monday, usually because they're more sleep deprived from, a crazy little Saturday, Sunday, and then they have to wake up early to go to work on Monday. So I learned, number one day of heart attacks is a Monday morning. So sleep plays a huge factor in your heart. Obviously, we all know that. Look at how pretty. Wow, there's a bee on it. Beautiful. Anywho, sleep plays a huge part in your heart. And she was just like astonished that nobody's really put that under a microscope. So she kind of demanded that I go to a urologist. So that's at least in motion. And that's kind of it with the urologist. So genetic testing is in. I should be getting the results soon, hopefully. And then I go back to see the urologist in like 20 days. And then, let's see, what else do we have? We can talk about symptoms for sure. My symptoms are pretty much at bay right now. I contribute it highly to my diet. And I've been like really focusing on trying to sleep as much as possible. But my symptoms, my PVCs, I would say are still, sub, I would say 2,000 per day. So I would say sub 2%, which definitely isn't bad at all. Very manageable. My dizziness comes and goes. It's definitely more prevalent post-exercise. But it's kind of like I just don't exercise as much and I don't feel dizzy as much. So I'm learning how to manage that because I do love exercising. Even this walk, I'm getting a little better with walking and running. I'm definitely a little out of breath right now, I would say, but nothing that's crazy. It's a hot summer day in Florida, so about to take the Skiff out for a little ride to the sandbar. Nothing crazy. It's a beautiful day. I hate to waste it, although that walk was a little rough. Gotta take a break. See, this is what I'm saying. Whenever I stop walking is usually when I get the shortness of breath. I get the symptoms starting to creep back up. So I'm usually okay if I, just keep moving, but that's kind of in the gym as well. If I just keep hitting the weights and I don't stop, then I can usually get through a full workout. But as soon as I stop is when things get a little crazy, which is a very telltale sign of like right-sided problems, which is what I have. Mayo Clinic has completely, just like, I would say kicked me out of the cardiovascular disease unit. But UF Health is actually still testing and wanting to figure out things. Oh, that's the last thing. April 15th is I get a chest CT scan at UF Health, which they're gonna try and get a closer look at my coronary artery, because that's the only thing that they couldn't see on my last echocardiogram. So just, kind of at a standstill right now because they did all of their usual things and it kind of just posed more questions than answers. So yeah, at a standstill, and that's pretty much the update. The baby's sleeping 6-7 hours a night already, so I'm trying to squeeze in more like restful sleep during my little windows, and that seems to help. If I get a good amount of rest and I eat at the appropriate times during the day, then I'm usually all right. So that's the update for today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. We're gonna open up some dialogue about heart failure, really anything related to it. I study this stuff all the time, so if you hit me in the comments, I'll for sure respond and we'll talk about it. Yeah, that's the update. Appreciate you tuning in and caring, and I'll see you in the next update. Peace.